Good morning, friends. Let us see now the another important aspect of in the adoption of innovation is factors influencing the rate of adoption. You know already that adoption is a decision to make full use of an innovation. So, what are the factors influencing the adoption of an innovation? The rate of adoption of an innovation. So let us see first what is rate of adoption. You know, adoption is a decision to make full use of an innovation. So rate of adoption is the relative speed with which an innovation is adopted by the members of the social system. The speed with which an innovation is adopted by the members of the social system. How fast the innovation is adopted by the members of the social system is nothing but rate of adoption. It is usually measured in terms of number of individuals who adopt an innovation in the particular period. For example, how many farmers adopted the innovation in the first year, second year, third year, in the particular period interval. So 1 year period interval, or 2 year period interval, or 3 year period interval. So many farmers adopted the innovation in the first 2 years, second 2 years, third 2 years. So like this, that is, it is generally measured. Rate of adoption is generally measured as number of individuals who adopt innovation, who adopt new idea in the specific period. So that so the rate of adoption is a numerical indicator. It is indicated, rate of adoption is indicated in numericals, numbers of the steepness. So it indicates the number. If you plot it on the distribution curve, it indicates if the innovations are adopted more quickly, the bell-shaped curve will be more steep. Or if the innovations are adopted slowly, the bell-shaped curve will be more spread, more steep or more. If the innovations are adopted more quickly, the steep, the bell-shaped curve will be steep. Or if it is adopted slowly, it is spread. There are five types of factors. There are five types of factors that affects the five types of factors or variables that determines the rate of adoption of innovation. There are mainly five factors that influences the rate of adoption. Let us see what are those factors. See, here is a factors, variables determining rate of adoption, or variables that influences the rate of adoption. This is rate of adoption. See, these are the variables. The factors determining or factors influencing rate of adoption can be broadly classified into five. So first one is perceived attributes of an innovation. Second factor is types of innovation decisions. Third factor is communication channels. Fourth factor is nature of social system. And fifth factor is extent of change agents promotion efforts. So let us see one by one these factors, how they influence the rate of adoption. So first one is perceived attributes. You already studied in previous class the perceived attributes of an innovation or characteristics of an innovation that influences a lot. For example, relative, the perceived attributes of an innovation or relative advantage, complexity, compactability, trialability, observability. These are the five important perceived attributes of innovation. So how they influences the rate of adoption, how they influences the adoption of innovation are already discussed in the previous class. So the perceived attributes of an innovations are important explanation of rate of adoption. They are the important factors that explain the rate of adoption of innovation. Most of the variance in the rate of adoption of innovation, that is from 49 to 80%. 49 to 80% of variation in the adoption of innovation is explained by the perceived attribute. They constitute merely, they explain, they influences, perceived attribute influences nearly from 49 to 87%. So the rate of adoption largely depends upon the perceived attributes of an innovation explained by five perceived characteristics of an innovation such as relative advantage, compatibility, complexity, trialability, and observability. So they influences more. So perceived attributes of an innovation play a very important role in adoption of innovations. Innovations that are pursued by the individuals are having greater relative advantage. Innovations that are pursued by the individuals as having, that is, innovations having greater relative advantage, greater compatibility, greater trialability, greater observability, and less complexity will be adopted more rapidly than the other innovations. That means the innovations with greater relative advantage, greater compatibility, greater trialability, greater observability, and lesser complexity will be adopted more rapidly than the other innovations. So this is about how the perceived attributes of an innovations that influences the rate of adoption. So next factors that influences the innovation, rate of adoption of innovation is types of innovations. There are mainly three types of innovation decisions. Types of innovation decisions. There are mainly three types of innovation decisions. First one is optional innovation decision. Second one is collective innovation decision. And third one is authoritative innovation decision. So let us see one by one. Optional innovation decision. Optional innovation decision. That is adoption of an innovation, adoption or rejection of an innovation is voluntary or the individual choice. Adoption or rejection, decision to adopt the innovation or reject the innovation, it depends upon the individual. It is left to the individual. Here the individual make the innovation decisions whether to adopt the innovation or reject the innovation. That is nothing but optional innovation. Option, adoption or rejection option is lies with the individual. Whereas in case of collective innovation decision, adoption or rejection of an innovation is decided by the group or the social system as a whole. So more number of people involved in the collective innovation decision. Adoption here, the adoption or rejection of individual is not lies with the individual. It is decided by the group or the social system or the community. Collective innovation decision. Adoption or rejection of an innovation is decided by the group or depends upon the group consensus. That is group consent, or social system consent or community member consent. So authoritative innovation decision, adoption or rejection of an innovation is decided by the authority. It is not like with the individual. Here, the authority, organizational authority, innovation decision, adoption or rejection of an innovation is decided by the authority. It is a top-down decision. One must adopt. Once the authority take the decision to adopt the innovations, the members working in the individuals working in the institution must adopt. For example, you take our university. Our university head is vice chancellor. So if the vice chancellor decides all the teachers should come in uniform, means all the teachers must, they should adopt, they should come in uniform. If the authority decides the students come in uniform, means they should come in uniform. That is nothing but authority innovation decisions. So these are the important types of innovation: optional innovation decisions, collective innovation decisions, and authority innovation decisions. So innovations requires an individual or optional innovation decisions. Innovations require individual or optional innovation decisions are generally adopted more rapidly if the innovation decision is lies with the individual. So such innovations are adopted more quickly. That means, so here the individual is involved. Individual take the decisions. So then when the innovation is adopted by the group or organization. Where the innovation decision is involved, organizations or group, there the adoption of innovation is slower. Group members has to give consent. Authority has to take the decisions. Whereas in case of individual optional innovation, the individual can take quickly. The individual can take. The decision making is right with the individual. More persons involved in decision making and innovation decision, more persons involved in making an innovation decisions, slower the rate of adoption. More the persons involved in the decision making, innovation, adoption, decision making, slower the rate of adoption. Lesser the persons, faster the rate of adoption. Then third factor is determining the rate of adoption is communication channels. Diffusion innovation takes place through channels. So you already studied number of channels, communication channels, individual contact methods, group contact methods, mass contact methods. So these are the uh, types of communication channels, communication methods, or teaching methods through which we are using these teaching methods or communication tools for transfer of technologies. The communication channels used to diffuse and innovations also may influence the innovations rate of adoption. So which type of channel? Individual contact methods, group contact methods, mass contact methods. So individual contact methods and mass contact, individual contact methods and group contact methods are more effective in the diffuse. They are called as interpersonal. There you can interact with the farmers through individual contact methods, through group contact methods. You can directly interact with the farmers. Though, so if you use individual contact methods or mass contact methods, for the diffusion of innovation, the spread of innovation is faster than the mass contact methods. Mass communication channel is good for creating the knowledge of they are very good for creating awareness about an existence of an event. For example, radio, TV, newspaper. Through them, you can create awareness or you can create knowledge of an innovation. Mass contact methods, mass communication channel is good for creating knowledge of innovation, whereas interpersonal communication channels such as individual contact methods and group contact methods is more effective for forming and changing the attitudes about an innovation. They are more effective in changing the attitude of innovation. If an inappropriate communication channel is used, if you do not use appropriate communication channel, if an inappropriate communication channel is used, such as mass media channels for the complex innovations, a slower the rate of adoption results. That results in slower the rate of adoption. This is how communication channels affects the rate of adoption. Next one is nature of social system. So social norms, social values also influences the rate of adoption. Social system is bounded by social norms and social values. Innovations are adopted within the social system. So social systems are governed by social norms and social values. Social norms means culture, custom, traditions. So they are nothing but social norms. Then social values, samajika मूल्यಗಳು. So it also influences the rate of adoption. Social systems are governed by social norms and social values. These values and norms, these social values and social norms of the social system will influences the acceptance or rejection of innovation. Social values, the extent to which changes are adopted depends upon the social values and extent of group expectations and upon the extent to which the individual is expected to conform. Where there is a great emphasis on maintaining the traditions, family, community traditions, where there is great emphasis on maintaining the traditions, norms, and values, changes occurs more slowly, where the people give more importance to their culture, custom, traditions, and their social values. Changes occur slowly. More progressive the social system, more will be the rate of adoption. More the progressive social system, more if the society is more progressive, if the society is more flexible, more will be the rate of adoption. Then last factor is extent of change agents effort, extent of extension workers. If the extension worker is sincere in educating the farmers about the improved cultivation practices, then the rate of adoption of innovation is fast. They should know how the through change agent only, through extension workers only, farmers will come to know about the innovations. If the extension worker or change agent did not put sincere efforts to educate the farmers about the improved cultivation practices, the rate of adoption will be slow. Change agents are people. Change agents means extension workers. Change agents are the people who introduces the innovations in the society, in their workplace. Change agents are the people who introduces the innovation into the society. The sincere efforts put forth by the change agents, the sincere efforts made by the change agent or extension worker results in increased rate of adoption of innovation. So the rate of adoption depends upon the sincere efforts made by the change agent or extension worker. Greater the response to the change agent effort, greatest response greatest response to the change agents occur when opinion leaders adopt the innovations. So the response of the greatest response to the extension worker depends upon the opinion leaders. If the opinion leaders adopt the innovations, it further spread occurs very easily. The extension worker should make efforts to adopt the innovation by the opinion leaders. That is 3 to 16%. Greatest response to the change agents efforts occurs when opinion leaders adopt, which usually occurs somewhere between 3 to first 2% or innovators. Then the 3 to 16% are opinion leaders. So innovators, early adopters, they belongs to early adopters. The majority of the opinion leaders belongs to early adopters. Usually occurs somewhere between 3 to 16% in most social system. So if the extension worker made the farmers or made the early adopters or opinion leaders to adopt the innovation, further spread will be easy. So this is about the factors influencing the rate of adoption. Thank you.